Welcome to the Transformation Institute's podcast. This podcast will break down what real change is and how we think is instrumental to that change. In a society that often looks sideways at individuals telling us how to think, we will reveal and expose a barrage of thought manipulations and mind programming being imposed upon us unaware daily. Each week, we'll explore the awareness, strategies, tools, and mindsets needed to recognize, survive, and thrive amidst change. We'll feature insightful interviews and conversations with knowledgeable individuals and share inspiring stories of average people who have navigated their journeys of transformation and sharing their hard-won wisdom and practical advice. Whether you're seeking a shift in career, relationships, or personal well-being, this podcast is your guide to unlocking your full potential and embracing the exciting possibilities that lie ahead. Join us as we embark on this transformative journey together. Here's our host, Omari, Jahi.
All right. Welcome everyone to the Transformation Institute podcast for change. I'm your host, Omari, Jahi, and we thank you for being here this evening. And we got a real hot, sizzling conversation we're gonna have tonight. Don't have no children around. Let me just warn you now. We're gonna have an adult conversation about sexual intercourse. Is it for pleasure or is it for procreation? That's the conversation we're about to have tonight. So to get it started, let me introduce to you my co-host. First, put your hands together for my sister. She's been sitting in for Vanessa for about a month now. And so she's here with us tonight to have this juicy conversation. Put your hands together for Miss Kim Mitchell, also known as Me Too. Put your hands together for All right. What's up, Kim?
What's up? I'm ready.
Yes, Lord, we ready. All right. Now put your hands together for my main man, Mr. William Birch. Put your hands together more, huh?
Hey guys.
All right, William, what's happening, man? How you been, man?
Everything is good. It's always good to get together.
Man, it is. Yes. It's a beautiful thing. So we're going to get started. This is the conversation, sexual intercourse. And you guys were asking me, well, man, where you get this subject from? My wife and I, we was having a discussion. Well, it wasn't a discussion. We was arguing. I'll just keep it real. We was arguing about this subject matter. And I was like, this is a good subject for the podcast. So let's see what Vanessa's supposed to be joining us. She's freshly back from Germany. She was in Germany for like about a month almost, and so she's supposed to be joining us tonight. She hasn't made it in yet, but we're going to get started. But look, sexual intercourse. Now, I wish Brenda could make it with us tonight because she had a previous engagement, but I know Brenda would have had her little biblical
and her Bible right there.
Yeah. A biblical understanding of this subject matter.
Yes.
But we're gonna, and like I told Kim, I was like, we're gonna keep it real tonight. Before we came on the show, Kim and I were kind of talking, and we were talking about, how the world is, and the world is, do it any way you want to do it any way you want to, Yes, look, Kim liked that song. But it's like, is there anything, do we have to go along to get along? Or is there some things that we have to take a stand on? Like I know that a lot of people are upset with Trump and the transgender thing. And I'm not going off the subject, but I'm just saying that a stance has to be taken on some things. You just can't, whenever somebody comes up with something new and it may not go along with what society was all about in the past, and so we throw the old stuff away. And hey, Vanessa is in. Hey, what's going on, Miss Vanessa?
Hey,
Welcome
y'all.
back. Welcome back.
Thank
Welcome
This
back.
word for Germany. Hello for Germany.
Hey, y'all.
Oh, wait a minute. Our names ain't on here. Why is the names not on here? Hold on, y'all. Let me get our names up here. Is it? I don't know, but we ain't gonna worry about it. So I was saying we just can't go along with everything that come up, but Kim seems to think we do. Tell us what you think about it, Kim.
Okay. Yes, biblically, we're supposed to save ourselves for our significant other, our husband or wives. But like I was telling Tyrone, the time that we're in now, it's like it's not that anymore. It's like people are just out here just having fun, just doing it, just to be doing it to get back at one another. It's like nobody's thinking about, I'm saving myself for my husband or I'm saving myself for my wife. It's like you are what's what I'm looking for? You are shunned upon if you're a virgin at the end of today's age. People will laugh at you like, what? What? Nobody believe in that anymore. Saving yourselves for your wedding night. You want to be the first that this person ever touched. Yeah, right. It's like,
Why? Why, Kim? Because people make fun of you?
yes. And it's because it's like people don't appreciate the fact that I saved myself for you. They don't appreciate that. This is like a joke. Be like, yeah, I. Especially if you tell a dude, yeah, I haven't been with nobody. I'm saving myself for my husband. Yeah, I. How many people you got? How many people in your black book? Like nobody. They like, yeah, I. And then when they do finally get that opportunity because you're thinking this is gonna be the one, they don't know how to appreciate that. They take advantage of that. They don't know how to handle that truth. Like, damn, I am her first.
So now let me ask this question. Now, what
Hmm.
if you're being tested to see if you are worthy of being appreciated? Are we
Dude,
failing or are we passing the test?
that's the thing about it. I don't think no one cares about appreciation anymore. They don't. In my book, and I could be wrong. Don't crucify me. Don't nail me to the cross. But to me, it feels like male and female, they don't appreciate the fact that, wow, you chose me to be your first, or you chose me for this experience. Yeah, now at a certain age, you probably not having no more kids, so it's really for pleasure. But if you're talking like in the beginning, when you don't have any kids, and when you're like in your 20s, I would say in your 20s, you're looking for that marriage and you want, oh, all rosy, I'm gonna save myself for my husband. It's gonna be a special night. Yeah, right. Your wedding night, y'all fighting like
So
cats and dogs. So it's like the fairy tale isn't there anymore. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, people.
it just sounds
Nobody
like
believe in the fairy tale anymore.
that you've been done wrong so many times that you just gave up.
No, I wouldn't say so many times, but I was one of those naive young ladies thinking, oh, I'm gonna give myself to my husband. Yeah, right. What I thought is what it wasn't that. How about that? So that's my life experience. And that's why, and I hear, I talk to people and I see different things and it's not appreciated. It really isn't. And
Well,
that's from my life experience and what I've seen and heard over time.
Vanessa, you agreeing with this?
Um, hmm. You know what? My
We
mother
keeping it
used to
100,
say,
Vanessa.
huh?
This is live and uncut.
I hear you,
Don't
Kim.
sugarcoat it. Don't sugarcoat it. Keep it 100.
No, you know what? But I hear what you're saying, but on another note, my mother used to always say something to me.
Hmm.
They, yeah, you were more concerned with what other people were thinking or whatever, or what they would talk about. My mom used to always say they talked about Jesus. Who are you? And I guess I grew up not caring too much what other people thought or said or whatever. Cause Yeah, what you think is almost like an opinion, and we all know what people feel about opinions. So
Mm.
for the sexual intercourse, pleasure, or procreation, I think when you're younger, you kind of go on that line. You teeter on that line about if you want to be a virgin when you're married. You all won't believe this, but at one point when I was younger, I used to think I wanted to be a nun.
I believe you. I believe you.
Now Tyrone laughed. I thought you would be the one that laughed,
Like,
but I did when I was
like,
younger. Because when you're younger, I think you hear all the stories or you grow up thinking about what you learn about the Bible and it's so serious to you. And not saying that the Bible isn't serious. So nobody come for me on that one.
Right.
But it's almost like you think if I do this or don't do this, I'm doomed or I'm gonna go to hell. And when you get older and start experiencing life, it becomes more or less like, hey, I'm gonna pray about it, I'm gonna repent. And I think as we get older, we start thinking, hey, I can repent, I can take this to God and he'll forgive me and everything. But I think we go through stages in life about how we feel about sex. When we're younger, you think sometimes sex is dirty or sex is only for adults. And the real life hits you and you have to change how you feel about it. For someone who has never had children, so should they go through life and just be virgins and never experience sex at all? Maybe, maybe not. But at the end of the day, you got to bear your cross like I had to bear mine. Um, I am one of those people who I think this decision is based on you, how you feel about it, what your thoughts are. Because if you're gonna do it just to do it, hey, we had prostitutes in the biblical days. We had people who lived strictly for the word, and we didn't always see the best for them. So I guess it depends on how deep into the Bible you're going to go if you're thinking about it from a biblical standpoint. But again, not everyone subscribes to Christianity. So what they think of sex may be totally different. Can I put them in a Christian hell based on what they do? No, because that's not their beliefs. And I don't know if it's true that they'll be judged by my God,
And I think it's different for men and women. They think sex differently. And I think for women, it's more so for procreation. Men, I think it's for pleasure. And I think, like I said, once you're in your 20s, yes, you're thinking about family and this, and that. But once you get past a certain age, it's like, okay, kids are grown. Now what? I'm not
But
making
not
no more
every woman
kids.
wants to have children. So
True that.
what about those women? Do they say I can never have sex?
Or women who cannot have kids. So
Yeah.
again, it's different. I think men and women think about it differently. So you guys heard our point of views. Let's hear the men's side.
well,
Will
I
and
mean,
Tyrone.
well,
We're keeping
I,
it live and uncut. So don't try
I
to
got a
sugarcoat it.
question about
I,
this after the men go.
Right. Don't
I,
sugarcoat it.
I'm keeping it real. I'm keeping it
Okay.
real
Okay.
because see, I don't like. Now this is me personally.
You don't
I
like
don't like.
sex.
No, I ain't finna say that. No.
Oh.
I was
I
gonna
was to
say,
say,
I
wait
don't
a minute
believe that
now.
one.
No, no. I don't like cherry picking. When people decide what they want to follow and what they don't want to follow. What it's almost like, okay, as a parent, I set down some rules for my children or whatever, right? And my children can't decide what they're gonna follow and what they not gonna follow. I mean, they can, but it's gonna be hell to pay, because I'm gonna be whooping that ass.
But it's their choice, though. You can't take away their choice.
Yeah, no, they got. That's what I'm saying. They have a choice to not do nothing I say, but I'm gonna be knee deep in their ass, and then we wonder why. It's like, if there is a God, I guess we don't believe in a God anymore. I guess that's what it really is.
I wouldn't say that.
Because if we did, why wouldn't you think God would be knee deep in your ass for doing what you're doing? Getting your freak on, flying your freak flag when you feel like it, doing what you want to do and bending over doggy style, all that crap. You think that's what God created sex for? You see, and then you think he ain't gonna be whooping your ass. Look at the world. Why you think the world is like it is now? It's because of niggas like us that's thinking like we thinking right now, that we don't want to follow that old shit. That's that old stuff. We ain't into that stuff. And because you ain't into it, now the whole world's going to hell. And we just gonna say, well, hell, I'm gonna have fun on the way out. Shit. I think I believe in law and rules and regulations. We real quick to say in decency and in order. I like stuff in decency and in order, but then we'll turn around and do some old freaky stuff. I ain't even gonna go into the stuff we do. I'm just saying, if now, I'm not against sex. I'm not saying that. I believe God created it for procreation. That's what it was created for. I believe we evolved into the freaks of the week by watching, well, I ain't gonna say that either. Well, I'll say it, by watching other people. We watch how other people got down,
So
and we start following suit.
Are you talking about porn?
Well, who were the porn stars? The original porn stars?
I don't know.
You know who they were. They weren't us. They weren't us. But we started following suit. Like we do in everything else. We start wearing our hair like them. We start freaking like them. We start treating our women like them. We start following suit. And so now here we are in an effed up world. We don't know how it got here, but we just gonna make the best of it. We ain't gonna try to reverse it, put things back in order. Nothing. We ain't trying to do none of that stuff. We just gonna go along with it, and eventually I'm gonna die from something. That's our mantra too. Well, hell, I'm gonna die from something. So hey, forget everlasting life. Forget all that stuff. We just gonna have fun. Do it any way we want to. Do it any way you want to. Do it. Bend over, flip over.
Okay, DJ.
So, what are your thoughts on this?
Now, this is a very touchy conversation. So,
oh my goodness!
I will say,
on top of the kid gloves.
I will say this though, Kim. It's not just men that like to have sex for pleasure. There's a lot of women that enjoy sex for pleasure as well. I knew where you were going, but we can't just put it all on men.
No.
There's some active women that's amongst us.
Women are the masters of sex, just as Eve.
Well, and it's a lot of ways. There's a lot of ways you can go with this conversation. And I could, my perspective is going to be very ignorant, so I probably should refrain from sharing my perspective. So,
oh my gosh,
it's your perspective. So say what you want.
We can't fault you for how you think.
Yeah, well, I mean, I just look at the situation like this. it's like buying, you know, when you get your first car, everybody get a used car until they realize the value of the car, and then get them a new car at the showroom, and they treat that car the way it's supposed to be treated. And that's what the dating scene is like nowadays. You know, you're getting cars with all these miles, and you know, everybody has an expectation of being treated like they did showroom car. So.
Well, I don't know what to say to that, boy. I mean, other than everybody along for the ride, you know, I can kind of use the compliment.
I mean, I get what you're saying. So it's not like we can't relate to what you said.
But it's like, okay, procreation and pleasure. Like I said, once we get of a certain age, we're not having no more kids. So what we doing now? Just looking at each other. Hey, how you doing? Huh? We're not having no more kids. So let's just say after 35, nobody having no more kids. Okay,
Yes.
we're just gonna say 35 is the magic number here.
Mm-hmm.
Kids are grown, or close to grown.
That's today's world.
Right, but what I'm saying, the question is for pleasure or procreation. Once the procreation stops, then what is sexual intercourse for?
There's no purpose for it.
So that's what I'm saying. We're done after 35, huh? Huh?
Well,
everybody's saying they like it. So we not to have it?
Well, you know,
I was told that men don't reach sexual maturity till 40, so you know.
But we're just saying 35 is the magic number for procreation. Nobody's trying to have kids after 35 because for women it's a health issue. They're high risk, and I'm pretty sure men ain't trying to raise a 2-year-old at 60 years old. Even though there's some men out there.
Some men are.
Right, yeah, but we're gonna say for this conversation, we're cutting it off at 35. 35 is the limit. So after 35, either our kids are almost grown or close to being grown. So we're just not gonna have sex no more. That's what you're saying.
We can't say 35 though, because some women are having kids in their 50s.
Again, for this
if
conversation,
we're looking at it from a biblical standpoint, we had people having babies 80, 90 in the Bible.
It's now a bunch of them having babies at 80s and 90s. But for this conversation though, because I'm trying to figure out when is it supposed to stop if we're not having no more kids.
When you can't have no more kids, when you can't have no more kids, so that's when the sex stops. We ain't putting no age on it. If you having kids at 40, then you still rolling. If you can't have no more kids, what's that thing? The change? Y'all know what that is.
We ain't call it what it is, menopause. We grown folk.
Menopause, that's not the change. That's not even, it's not the same thing. Menopause is your menstrual cycle.
No, that's when you stop having kids. Is when you stop having kids.
When you stop having menstrual cycles.
That's when the kids stop
having menstrual cycles. That's the change.
Yes, it is.
Right, and that's menopause.
Right.
No, menopause is your menstrual cycle. Okay.
Perimenopause is that time up until your last cycle. Once you have your last cycle, once you get a year into not having a cycle, then it's called menopause. When you hit that 1 year mark, that's menopause. Anything after 1 year mark is post-menopause.
Okay, but so every day after that, say again.
Sex stops. That's what you're saying.
After that, if you're continuing to have sex, it is not about why sex was created. It's about the fact that you like getting your freak on.
Pleasure. So it's about the pleasure.
Same thing. That's a nice name for freak. You just put a nice little cherry on it, trying to make it look like it's okay.
That don't make you be freaky with it because you're getting your pleasure. You might not be freaky with it. You're just probably just doing it just to do it.
I thought we was keeping it 100 here.
I am being 100. To me, when you say getting your freak on, you out there buck wild. You wilding out.
Everybody ain't wilding out with sex, man.
That's what I said.
Some people strictly missionary and all of that. But we ain't talking about those people today.
Let me be clear. Getting your freak on, I ain't talking about you screwing every.
You don't have to do that with everybody. You can do that with one individual.
I'm not saying that ain't what I'm talking about. I'm talking about getting your freak on is when you got to do it doggy style, when you got to do oral, when let's say you got to lick it before you stick it, all that crap.
And you doing crisscrosses and spinning on a chandelier and all
yeah,
that.
Wait a minute. You don't think the biblical people did doggy style? I'm just saying.
No, they ain't no doggy style is modern.
Laid there like, come on.
Yes.
And that was it. You don't think it's something?
Didn't you see Color Purple?
Don't do that. Don't do
Didn't
that.
you see Color Purple?
Let him lie like that.
Didn't y'all see Color Purple?
So
Oh, girl was laying there.
Let me tell you why.
Because he didn't want to be with him. That was a granddaddy.
No,
but look how they was having sex though.
Not wrong. Let me tell you why they probably had positions. Because you all think that Eve did her own damn thing. So therefore, I'm sorry, doggone thing. So if she did her own thing, you don't think she thought, let me get up on this?
I don't think Eve.
Y'all think everything else about Eve, so why she couldn't do something besides like?
Who said Adam wasn't the freak?
Let me show y'all when all these positions started becoming manifest.
Okay.
Oh wait, somebody said something here. Let me see who it is.
Oh snaps! We don't fired up the line.
It's about my. It's about my prostate health.
Tell Durante to get off the line.
4 to 6 ejaculations a week.
Come on, that's what I'm talking about. Live and
Durante, in the biblical times, you didn't even have to worry about your prostate. Yeah.
I'm like, come on now, let's keep it 100.
No, but y'all remember in the 70s, they had, remember when the black lights
we were born in the 70s. We don't remember the 70s.
Well, no, wait a minute. You know the 70s, Kim. Don't act like you was too young.
I was born in the 70s. I don't remember the 70s.
You have to be
free love.
When they came out with when they had the black light. Remember we used to have black light parties?
No.
And they had black light posters, right?
No.
And these posters
in
had
the 60s and 70s, they went through that whole little free love thing. So
right,
that's
the whole
but yeah, thank you. Once those white people,
black and white people.
No, black people joined them.
Right. Black people had their moments too. They had their moments.
Come on, no.
I'm not gonna make this a color thing.
No, I ain't making it a color thing either. I'm just speaking the truth. Let's talk about where it really came from. Freaking doing wife swapping, all that crap. Where it really came from. Who are we?
The swinging, I would grant you that. The swinging, but not too many black people.
It ain't just that. The doggy style, all of that stuff. Who was producing those posters with all those different positions? You remember they had the doggy position, they had the woman on everything, hanging off the edge of the bed. All those positions was on the poster, and they was putting them out, and they had them on the wall at parties, and we'd go into parties. Ooh, look at that! And then we started doing that.
Are you having a relapse?
Right, I'm like,
no, I ain't having no relapse. I'm keeping it real. Y'all said y'all wanted to keep it real.
Live and uncut. Hey, live and uncut.
You like we was on the wall and
yeah, I go.
We was
on the wall. Okay.
Because kids didn't see that kind of stuff. That's pornography. We couldn't see that kind of stuff.
So you mean to tell me all those Playboy magazines y'all had up under y'all bed?
And some of y'all pornography.
The
daddies had them hid under the bed.
And those Playboy magazines back in the day were nothing but white women.
Now they had some black women. I heard
they started adding black women in maybe around the 80s.
I don't know about all that.
Do some research. Prove me wrong.
Well, you know what,
Tyrone? All of it. Yes.
I think a lot of stuff, because black people didn't like to talk about sex openly, we probably didn't.
And we still don't. And we still don't. You see how uncomfortable we are talking about it now? And we still don't.
Right.
We still don't talk about it.
See, it was taboo. So I'm not sure if they didn't or did do some of the things that you're saying others did. But at the end of the day, this whole tell Durante to leave me alone. At the end of the day, it's one of those things, like I said, it's based on what your beliefs are, where you see yourself on the path to hell about sex, because what I said earlier, I think most people, it's not that we say, oh, we're not going to do what the Bible says or anything, but at some point they started telling us, don't worry. All you have to do is repent, pray. And when we start hearing, oh, he'll forgive us for this, I think that made people look at things differently, because like I said, when we were younger, everything was so strict. If you have sex before marriage, you're going to hell. If you do this, you're going to hell. And then somebody,
you have a kid out of wedlock, the church shun you.
Just repent. And so people started thinking, well, it doesn't matter what I do. All I'm going to do is take it to Jesus. I'm going to repent and I'm going to be all right. So I think that's where we started easing up on thinking about it in a different light.
Does it make it right?
Well, it depends. Like I said, if you're not a Christian and this isn't what you believe about sex, then
okay. I guess my question now is just,
but as a Christian, yeah, we're all wrong. If we're having sex
every day of our lives, we're wrong.
So if we now, I don't believe in religion. Let me just put that out there first.
Okay.
So I'm gonna use this term because you guys are using it. If we are supposed to be Christians, and if we're not Christians, then what are we?
We are individuals who believe in our own ways, believe in our own
sinners.
faith.
Just say it. Say it with me. Sinners.
Yes, we all are sinners.
We all are sinners from a Christian standpoint.
We are all sinners.
And so again, if we're not Christians, well, even Christians, everybody.
Everyone is born.
Everybody's a sinner. Right. But then there are those that sin worse than others, right?
We sin every day of our lives.
And what they say, the wages of sin is death.
Yes.
That's what I've heard, right?
Yes.
So now, if we're seeing a lot of death in our community, what's the cause? Is it just because
we don't know?
There's a lot of guns in our community, right?
We don't know.
That's it. We're gonna blame it on the guns. We don't have no role that we play in the crap we see in our community. We don't. It's not our fault. It's these kids with all these guns. It's these gangs. It's all of these. What is your individual role in making this world the way it is right now?
Okay, well, you just
I wouldn't say having sex.
You just said that if we sin, we will die, right?
But the wages of sin is death, yes.
Okay, but what about this? Man that is born of woman shall surely die. So you're going to die. If you are born, you will die. Now, the goal is to be born again to kind of get on track from being born into sin and accepting Jesus at some point and knowing that you're going to walk in the path of righteousness. Now, I don't know about you all, but I don't know anyone who is walking that just straight path on the straight and narrow, because we're all going to fall off on something. For some people, sex is not a problem, because there are people who were virgins when they married, probably stayed married to that person their whole life, died with that person, or after that person never having been with someone else. So does that mean that they are going somewhere different than where you're going, where I'm going, because at some point we've had sex outside of marriage or sex that didn't cause
more than one, multiple people? Just say with multiple people.
Yes,
because most of us probably did have sex with multiple people.
But here's the thing. But we're taught again that one sin isn't greater than another. It's the way we look at sin. We want to say, oh, well, they did this. Oh, that's way worse than da 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 da. But at the end of the day, sin is sin.
That's true. That's true. But now, I guess the question that I want to raise then is, if we are cool with sin, You know, but some sins, like R. Kelly's sin, is a sin we can't forgive.
We're not gonna talk about R. Kelly on this
No,
podcast.
we gonna talk about R. Kelly.
We're not gonna talk about R. Kelly on this podcast.
No. His thing
That's
was
a
about
different
sexual
topic. Y'all
intercourse.
can have that topic without me, because I'm free. I'm for free R. Kelly.
What? For free R. Kelly?
Tyrone, let's not go there.
No.
Let's not go there.
No. Y'all missing where I'm going with this.
It says
Okay, well, let's not say R. Kelly. Let's just say whatever sexual sin you're talking about. Are you talking about molestation?
I'm speaking of sin. We were talking about sin.
Yeah, but you said R. Kelly.
We're saying sexual
Because
intercourse. That's a sin. Because
y'all don't let me say what I'm trying to say.
We're gonna fight for R. Kelly.
I'm trying to say that people won't forgive R. Kelly for his sin, but there's no sin greater than another sin, right? But people want to look at his sin. They want to look at P. Diddy's sin. We can look at
Epstein,
all these different sins. You see what I'm saying? And we want to throw them under the jail, but some of us belong right there next to them.
Well,
right
who are these people? Because your president could be on that same. Well, I'm sorry, the president.
This is not.
Could be on the same.
He want the same what?
On the same level with R. Kelly, because he's a sexual deviant.
People of power, most of them are, especially men.
Okay, so I'm saying, so who are we letting judge these things?
The same people that are committing them. You think that man sitting on the bench with a robe on is holy?
Well, no, because I'm asking because you keep saying people, and I'm trying to figure out who these people are, because these people, certain people allow him to get away with stuff that P. Diddy, R. Kelly, and everybody else couldn't. So I'm just trying to figure out who are the people you're talking about.
Well, let me straighten this out. Well, maybe I should say it like this: entertainers,
yes,
actors, comedians, celebrities. Thank you. That's a better term. Mm-hmm. So all celebrities are held in check by their sin. R. Kelly been doing this forever. What he was doing. P. Diddy been doing what he was doing forever. The only reason it came out is because they pissed somebody off. Higher than them. They had the power to expose their sin. You know, even the white man. What's his name? You mentioned him earlier.
Epstein.
Yeah, him. Epstein, or whatever his name is. He pissed somebody off. See, this is what they hold over your head to make sure you stay in line.
Checks and balance. Check and balance.
So the only way, like even Dr. Martin Luther King, do you hear me? Even Dr. King had issues. And he was supposed to have been a super righteous man.
You see, they try to bring Obama and Michelle into the spotlight now, speculating divorce rumors that they're not together. I was like, leave these people alone. So what if they're not together?
That's a whole nother conversation, Obama.
Right.
I'm telling you. That's a whole nother conversation.
But if I can piggyback on something you said, Tyrone, I'm kind of stuck right there. Okay. You said once the kids stop, the sex is supposed to stop. I don't.
Well, let me ask you this, Kim. All right. I love candy. I love chocolate. I love cakes. I love all that sweet stuff. I love it. Mm-hmm. I even love pizza. You see what I'm saying? Cheese, all the pasta and all that stuff. As I got older, the doctor said I got to leave that crap alone.
Okay.
Because now I got high blood pressure. I got diabetes. I got cholesterol issues, right?
Okay.
So I got to let that stuff go. I still love it. I love it.
Okay.
And I can't let a lot of it go. I'm still, because I'm like an addict. Mm-hmm. I need my candy, I need my sweets, but it's killing me.
Okay.
So I'm saying the same thing about sex. Sex becomes an addiction now when it's supposed to be. When it's supposed to have been just for procreation. So now we're addicted to it and we can't let it go because we like the feeling that it makes us feel. So if I get depressed, I go out and get my freak on and feel better for 30 minutes. Let's be realistic.
If you're having pleasure or you get your freak on with someone you care about, you just enhancing the feelings that you have for one another.
But that's not getting your freak on. That's
then what is it?
That's what making love. Wait a minute. That's supposed to be making love when you are with your significant other. This is what
they might not be your significant other now. Hold on now.
It has to be. And if it ain't your significant other,
hey, it's your boo, it's your babe.
And then you on an accelerated trip to hell. You accelerate.
We gonna agree to disagree on this topic because I know everybody out there have done something in their lifetime. So we all accelerating to hell. Let you tell it.
I have a question. So you don't think that maybe if in the beginning, maybe during the New Testament, the Old Testament days, maybe it was for just procreation. Maybe with the New Testament days, because there were so many exceptions and things made. You don't think that at some point it's like, okay, if this is man and wife, that God knew if he allowed us to experience sex, that man and wife would not enjoy sex and enjoy it outside of procreation? You think that he didn't think that after the kids were grown or women could no longer produce children, that it would just stop? Like a man is no longer to desire his wife?
I don't
or she should no longer desire her husband because they could no longer make children?
No, I think it was supposed to be that desire between them. But you know what happened? Because of greed and because of addiction, men and women started looking at other people. I wonder if he can make me holler. I wonder if he'll bend me over. I wonder if he'll lick me up and down, like the song said. I wonder if he'll do this to me, my husband ain't doing this,
Well, you know what? I don't know if that part is true because we see sex introduced all throughout the Bible, Old Testament, New Testament, like people outside of your spouse engaging in sex. We learned
about called it prostitution. Yeah, they called it prostitution. Jezebel.
Not only that, but some of the men had concubines.
Yeah, but they were a part. See, no, you're getting it mixed up. Men were able to have many wives back then. They were able to have more than one.
It's okay for them, huh?
I'm just talking history. Now, stop me when I'm lying. Stop me when I start lying. Back then, they were able to have more than one wife. And these concubines were a part of their household.
Maybe part of the Old Testament.
That's what I'm talking about. You see what I'm saying?
Okay,
now, whether it was...
But the New Testament has been in existence for hundreds of years, thousands of years.
But you know what? Speaking of Christianity, you remember when the Vatican, the Pope, said, "Okay, we have to adjust the rules because of the way we're living in." So they approved homosexuality. They embraced it. You remember? It was a big controversy.
Well, you know what? I don't think so much they approved, but they stopped shunning their members. They
approved it. They approved it.
It's not so much they approve it, but they stopped saying, "Hey, well, we're going to not castrate."
It was a big controversy. The Pope, it wasn't the current Pope. I think it was the Pope before him. And that's probably why he resigned, because he approved it, said the church would now acknowledge homosexuality.
And it was, I think that was mainly just to make people feel comfortable and make those
Right.
particular Catholics feel like they were a part of something.
Right.
Still a part of the church. But at no point.
It's like you have to readjust.
It's all about, you know what? At the end of the day, we bend the rules of the Bible to suit us the way we want to. Because if we go by the Bible, we aren't supposed to do a lot of stuff we do. And I'm not going to condemn what they do because hell, I do enough stuff. You know what I'm saying?
We all said.
So
we
I
all
can't worry about what another person does or who they do it with because their sin looks just like my sin when the Father is reviewing it.
That's what I'm saying. We all gonna be judged at the end of the day.
Until the press reveals your sin. When the press reveals your sin look worse.
Right.
You know what? But hey, some people don't care about what the press says.
Man, the majority people tripping on Facebook. It ain't even the press. If somebody says something on Facebook,
that's a form of the press, because that's where the press is getting their information from.
And guess what? And it's about how you accept it, because if you look at it like people on Facebook are gonna do and say what the hell, what the heck they want to, just like people on the street gonna say what they want to. I think when they're on Facebook, it's a little worse because people become, keyboard gangsters, and so they say more stuff than they would say in your face. But at the end of the day, like I said, if we're looking at it from a biblical standpoint, if you say we're going to hell because of everything that people do, yeah, then the whole world is going to hell.
And so we shouldn't
gasoline draws. But here's that trick part. Repentance.
What does that look like?
Well,
we can say the word, but what does it look like?
We are told that as long as we go to God with a clear heart and and you know what? Most people, when they get closer to meeting the Maker, they start changing. Now,
it's too late.
But here's the thing.
Some of our loved ones. Okay.
Let's say, okay, so as of today, we've all done some stuff that we might have to answer for. But if one of us go in 5 minutes, within that 5 minutes, if we go to God, how do we know he won't hear it and say, okay?
Well, I disagree with that. To me, that's something that if I was the devil, I would put some stuff out in the world to make you think like that, so that you can sin all the way up until you got your foot on the banana peel, fitting to slip in the hell, and think that when at that last second you can say, Jesus, I believe in you and please forgive me, or whatever you're supposed to say, or whatever, and now your sins are instantly forgiven and you go to heaven. See, to me, that's something that if I was a satanic person, that's what I would put out in the world and make everybody believe that. So you think you're going to heaven just because you accept God at the last second. It's not.
But what about the people who don't believe in a God at all?
Well, I mean, if you really think about it, everybody believes in something. You see what I'm saying?
Some people believe the whole theory that the Big Bang Theory.
An asteroid created the Earth.
Look, I'm on the real.
Well, I know. I agree. You're right.
Because a lot of highly educated people don't believe in a God.
Yeah, but
at some point you get so supposedly educated where you start saying, well, this can't be possible because this, and we are taught that everything you think should be faith-based, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So again, all of this is based on where we stand with God, with our God.
Let's look at it from a street perspective. If there are two gangs, GD, BD, let's just use that. I'm just using those. I know it's more. If you ain't a GD, you automatically BD. There's two powers.
Then I guess
God
I'm the atheist in this equation.
God and the devil.
Not gonna be that.
Right.
Well, that just because you don't accept it, don't make it not so. You see what I'm saying? You can say, I just don't believe that. I just don't believe that if I do this, that I'm going to have a heart attack and die. I'm not going to believe it. And then you have a fucking heart attack and die. Excuse my language. But then you have a heart attack and die. It's too late now. Whether you believe it or not, it didn't erase the fact that it happened. So just to say that I don't believe, if I don't believe in God.
But is it too late?
Well, I mean, it's never too late.
People,
yeah, but you don't have that
what
short,
you believe.
I don't believe you have that short time period that you're talking about. I think now is the time.
I'm not saying I believe that. I'm just saying this is what some people believe. And who am I to say your beliefs are stronger than my beliefs or my beliefs are stronger than their beliefs?
No, only thing you can do is express what you believe and why you believe it. You see what I'm saying? Some people express their beliefs and there's no foundation behind their belief other than the fact that that's just what I feel. I just feel that way. I don't care what you say. That's how I feel. You know, and that's not a way to live life off of some emotion. I just don't feel like I should help people because people don't do nothing for me. You see what I'm saying? Just to feel, I mean, that's your belief system. That carries you throughout life now. I ain't helping nobody because don't nobody help me. Forget people. I don't give a damn about people. And we just go through life with that and then don't recognize that that's a satanic mindset.
But for who? And see, and this is the only thing I'm saying. We keep talking about it from a Christian standpoint, but we have to think about it. Everybody else in the world is not a Christian.
I'm not either.
Okay, then. So you would say intercourse is for pleasure. Now, you said procreation.
See, let's get something straight. Let's get something straight from the jump. The term Christianity came after Jesus died. There was no such thing as a Christian when Jesus was around.
Okay, for anyone that believes in the Bible, the Holy Bible, which mentions Christ and his followers deemed themselves Christians.
Deemed themselves. Now, he didn't give them that name.
If you believe in the Holy Bible, then this is your thought process. But what about people who follow the Quran? What about people who follow Buddha? What about people who just don't believe?
Well, there's sin.
Then this is
sin. All throughout every last one of the religions you name, there's a belief in sin. There's a belief in heaven and hell.
But how they approach it may be different.
Sin gets you into hell. Doing what's right gets you into heaven. Whatever terminology they use, but the process.
Okay, but we're not talking about all the sins. We're talking about sexual intercourse and pleasure or procreation. And all I'm saying is, from our standpoint, we're looking at it from what we read from the Holy Bible.
Let's look at Muslims. If you mess around with somebody's wife over there over east in the Middle East, they cut your head off. They don't send you to jail. Off with your head. Now, is that an indication of how they feel about extramarital sex? Freaking get me a freak on and all that? Is that?
But we're talking about intercourse. We didn't say extramarital sex. So
okay, so what about the men? See, now you got me about
because intercourse still be within the relationship. It can be within the relationship.
No, but okay, so recently, in the last few years, we find that a lot of the men in those cultures tend to do things that was forbidden in the Bible, men with men.
Yeah,
and some of
Sodom
these
and Gomorrah.
men
Yep.
have wives. So
What happened to Sodom and Gomorrah?
My head because I did some stuff, but you're not cutting your own head off because you got with dude. Come on now, see, that doesn't make sense.
I don't know what you're talking about. Sodom, Sodom and Gomorrah turned into ashes. God bombed them to smithereens because of that action.
Exactly.
So that's an indication that how he feels about that. You see what I'm saying?
But that's our God. That's God.
There's only one. There's only one. Don't get into that our God crap.
You know what?
There's only one.
Okay, so let me say this.
Okay.
And because I don't disagree with you on that one God thing, because I got a whole nother theory about what I think with all the different religions, and there still being that one God over them all. Mm-hmm. But for them, again, because you use them as an example about them doing things to people who were like being involved in extramarital affairs and everything, that's what made me say what I said. Because if we're going to talk about if you do this, then we're going to dismember you, then why aren't you dismembering everyone? Because like I said, now they are involved in a lot of Sodom and Gomorrah type activities in their culture.
Yes. And so, not only their culture,
they aren't dismembering each other.
Yes. But check this out. Not only in their culture, in the Jewish culture, in the Hindu culture, in the Christian culture, and all of them, they're doing exactly what you just said. The only time somebody gets beheaded or sent to jail and castrated in the public eye is when you piss somebody in authority off.
I don't know about all of that. Because that's why a lot of people do things in the dark because of what may happen.
But if you got enough money, understand what I'm saying. If you got enough money, you can get out of anything. Just ask OJ. You see what I'm saying? OJ was the quintessential that they went by, so that after OJ, if you notice, how they went at R. Kelly was different how they went at OJ. OJ still had his money, and so he was able to hire the Dream Team and got him off. When they went after R. Kelly, they started taking away his money, his way of making money. They shut down him being able to perform. They shut down his streaming sites, you remember?
So if OJ had did it while he was playing football, they probably would have attacked his streams of income then.
No, what I'm saying is they never thought of OJ being able to put a dream team together to get off. Because if you got enough money, you can get out of anything. This is the way the world works. Money makes the world work.
Elon is showing us that.
He's showing us that. And so if you ain't got enough money, if you ain't in that bracket with everybody else, if you ain't up there and you ain't got Jay-Z money, you see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I ain't talking about Diddy money. Because see, Diddy had a lot of money too, but he didn't have enough. That's why he's going down. You got to have billions on top of billions. Then you can buy your way out of everything. Michael Jackson.
Are they going to buy their way out of hell?
That's the key.
Just asking for a friend.
friend, no, they cannot. Because that money is not going with them.
See, we're talking as if on our level that we ain't going to hell just like them.
I never know where we're going.
Just like you don't care, they don't care either.
Who said we don't care?
If we are
I don't think nobody is sitting around like, yeah, I'm going to hell. Oh, okay, let me just kick it.
No, right. No, kick it, wait for my ride.
No, people are, they don't care. It's like whether I go to hell or not. How do I know there is a hell? We'll start justifying. Ain't no damn hell. Ain't no heaven. When I die, I'm dead. I'm just gonna be in the ground. I'm gonna be maggot dust or whatever, maggot food. Some people have that thought. And so it's like, well, I can do what I want to do. I live my life how I want to. I'm going to have fun while I'm here, and that's it.
Yeah, I lived a good life, so I'm good.
So our time is up. Let's get some closing thoughts.
I didn't even get to ask my questions because we went left.
I know.
Far left.
What questions you had, Vanessa?
No, I was going to ask about the as far as like soul ties and some
so,
of the.
Let me ask you this: do you have like after the podcast? You know they have after hours. Do you have like after the podcast conversation?
Oh, we do that all the time.
Oh,
we said we were going to start putting it out there.
Yeah, after the podcast.
We was gonna start recording it and put it out there.
Yeah, just having a conversation after the podcast.
Because our after podcast go just as long as the podcast.
Because like this 1 hour is not enough.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is what it is.
And especially when you have a good topic like this, something that a lot of people don't talk about. So this was a good topic again tonight.
Good. Well, give me your closing thought, Kim.
My closing thought is, hey, sex is for pleasure. Once the kids are grown and you're not having no more kids, have fun with it. Get buck wild, do the freaky stuff. As long as you're with somebody you want to be with. Be you, be free. That's our problem now. We don't want to talk about it. Everybody, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to do that. I don't know how to do that. Have fun with it. Enjoy it. Don't be afraid to be you with it. Especially you with somebody you want to be with.
All right, Vanessa.
My closing thought, I think we should do a part 2 to this because, like I said, we got off, and I don't even think if we really touched on what we were supposed to the extent we were supposed to. But for me, do you? Because at the end of the day, you have to stand in front of God, and I can't go to heaven or hell for you, and you can't go to heaven or hell for me. So you live your life by the way you interpret your Bible or whatever religion you follow.
Okay. Well, I can tell that this conversation was very uncomfortable for Will.
Because he was tight, quiet.
I've never seen him this quiet.
I'm like, what? I thought we was laughing uncut, Will.
Well, I'll say that. So sex to me is for pleasure, right? Because I never set out to procreate. I procreated.
Wow. That's a good point. Most people don't.
You procreated by accident in the process of having fun. I procreated, and it turned out to be one of the best things that happened to me. But I also learned how to make sure I don't procreate again.
Pull out.
Wait. So you said, and I know we're over time, Tyrone. I apologize. So you said that you made sure you don't procreate again. So you just stopped?
No, he just made sure he did it the right way.
Right.
Make sure there were no more children.
Oh, okay. I'm like, did you just stop having sex?
No. I became more responsible.
Gotcha.
My closing thoughts is that sex was created and it was supposed to be a beautiful thing. It was supposed to be a spiritual thing between a male and a female. And that at some point, lust took over for love. And like that commercial that says, Jay's, you can't just eat just one. We started eating more chips out of somebody else's bag. We couldn't just deal with our own bag. We started looking at other people's bag. You know what the scripture called that? What they call that? Coveting.
This sounds more like cheating.
It's the same thing. That's
the
same thing. Yeah.
It sounds like we're going for a whole different topic.
No, because if you're having sexual intercourse with somebody else because you got greedy, or maybe your significant other wasn't giving you the freaky feelings that you want to, because your freak flag might have been flying a little higher than theirs. And so because you weren't dealing with sex just for a procreation thing, now this is my closing thought, because it got into a pleasurable thing, it went outside. The pleasure didn't just stay in your house. It went outside of your house. And you walking down the street looking at booties and breastises and everything. You like, oh my God, because now it's about pleasure. And that's not what it was supposed to be about. It is what it is. That's what the world is about. But I'm putting this out here because I think we need to really start thinking for a change about whether or not our actions and how we think about different subjects or topics like this. We need to start thinking about whether this type of thought and this type of action, where this leads us to. And if we don't care about where this takes us further on in our life, then maybe we should ask ourselves, what do our children think watching us act like this? You see? And so I'm hopeful that this subject matter, and I agree there should be a part 2. It probably won't be. I agree it should be. Because there's more to say about this. I know
It really is. It really is.
It is.
And I think we should actually bring stuff that supports either thought process, like some real factual documentation or something. Like,
well, we can just go out there and do our little mini study groups.
And I'm saying because we keep talking about from a biblical standpoint. So I think
that's the base.
You start saying this is the way we should be doing this because this and this, then you have to back it up sometimes.
But think about it. If any one of us brought something on as some type of factual information documentation, I got a video right now I didn't show of Billy Graham, supposed to have been the world's #1 preacher, talking about from a biblical perspective what sexual intercourse was supposed to have been about. If I had played that video, you would have been well in your right to say, well, that's just Billy Graham.
Wasn't he involved in the scandal?
See? You see what I'm saying?
Wasn't he involved in the scandal though, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
okay.
I believe he was.
Okay,
yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. But so it don't matter, because see, when we're stuck in what we want and we're stuck in our way of thinking and how we want to think, and we ain't gonna let nobody change us away from how we want to think, then it don't matter what kind of facts you bring, somebody gonna find a way to tear it down. Where'd you get that from? Google? Then we'll talk about Google, how bad Google is. Oh, where'd you get that information? Just like the Bible. So a man wrote the Bible. You see what I'm
saying? Somebody had to write it. Somebody had to write it.
It don't matter when people are stuck in their position in life and they refuse to change. Then it don't matter what you say, what proof you bring up. It don't matter. People are going to just like the people in Sodom and Gomorrah. Lot tried to change them. He tried to tell them that wasn't good, and then didn't even know that his wife was with him. And when she left, she didn't want to leave. She kept looking back while the city was being destroyed, and it destroyed her.
That's why she became a pillar of salt.
Exactly. You see what I'm saying? So it don't matter what we say. The only thing we can do is pray that somebody sees this that are open-minded, because some of us aren't. We're not open-minded. We're, like they say, stuck in our way. Some of us are stuck in our way, and that's just it. Ain't no changing us, But there are some people that may be on that borderline, and they may be saying, well, damn, that makes a little sense what they're saying, and this and another, and go about changing their life in some kind of way and stop being whoremongers and stop, treating women like prostitutes and this and that and other. Maybe women will look at this and stop presenting themselves like prostitutes with their fashions, which that's whole nother thing. I know.
Right, whole nother topic.
It's a whole nother topic. I don't know. But thank you all for being on tonight. I'm sorry, y'all, but we gonna finish this off camera.
Hey,
we're gonna have another conversation. Y'all gonna miss out on this one, but
all I want to do, because I've been sitting here dying to do this one, just because you brought up R. Kelly.
Vanessa.
Oh, we'll talk about it after the show.
I want to give the closing musical. I feel so
freaky tonight.
You keep talking about freakiness and R. Kelly, and that's all been playing in my head these last 5 minutes.
12 plays.
Feeling on your booty.
You know, that was my song too.
Yeah, well, it's a good topic tonight. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Until next week, y'all. Thank you all for being here. Tune in to us next week. We'll be here 8 o'clock. Until then, peace.
And we'll be speaking next week.
Bye.
The cat won't have his tongue.
Thanks for supporting our podcast. We look forward to seeing you next Saturday. Until then, strive for a peaceful mind. Your activity will reflect that peace.